Hi, my name is Rebecca Bishop, and I chose to do my presentation on Harry Markopolos. Harry Markopolos is famous for blowing the whistle on the Madoff Ponzi scheme. This is an interesting story because Harry Markopolos has never even met Barry Madoff. So this all started back in 2000. Harry was working at the Rampart investment management firm, and it was a firm that specialized in trading options, and they were all very aware of the Madoff investment group because they were very famous for having really high returns. And so Harry's coworkers challenged him to deconstruct Madoff's strategy so that they could replicate it. And so Harry took this very seriously. He really wanted to know how they did it. And he was really curious because you can't dominate all markets. And there have to be some losses, but the Madoff investment group was not showing any losses. So he knew that there was some kind of fraud going on as he deconstructed it. And over and over he tried to replicate it and he could not. And so he knew there was something going on, either some kind of Ponzi scheme or front running. So Harry had contacted the SEC, and he kept sending information to them. And he would research more and find out more information about Madoff, and he would send them more information. Over the course of 8.5 years, Harry did not give up. He kept funneling information to them. And by 2005, he felt like he had enough evidence to prove, or to say that with almost 100% of certainty that he was sure they were committing fraud, and that he had that much evidence. But the government was slow to act, and he did not give up sending evidence and pushing the case until Madoff was stopped. So let's talk about the 7 steps of how to blow the whistle that our book talks about. The first step is approach your immediate manager. Now, this is a unique case with Harry Markopolos because he had never met Barry Madoff. He did not work for Barry Madoff. And so some of these steps are not as applicable to him because the risk for him was not as severe as it would be for someone who actually worked for the company. But they do still apply. So number 1, approach your immediate manager. This all started because his immediate manager gave him this challenge, the people in his office. Number 2, discuss it with your family. I'm sure this took up over 8 years of Harry Markopolos' life. So I'm sure he talked very much with his family about this. He even changed jobs during the case while he was researching this and opened his own fraud investigation business. And so I'm sure this case took a really high priority in his life, and I'm sure his family were very well aware about what was going on. Take it to the next level. He contacted the SEC and he told them what he was concerned about this company, and he told them the evidence he had. And he could have stopped it then. He did his due diligence, he did his part, he could have just left it at that. But he kept researching and kept finding evidence to prove that Barry Madoff was committing fraud. He did not give up. He took it to the next level. 4, contact your company's ethics officer. He took it even higher than that. He contacted the SEC. 5, consider going outside your chain of command. He continued to contact the SEC, gaining more and more attention because of it. 6, go outside of the company. This one is not necessarily applicable because he was not working for the company, and he continued to work with the SEC until they would listen and until they reviewed the case fully. And then 7, leave the company. Fortunately for Harry, he did not have to give up his career and his business because of this. He was an outsider looking in, which I think is really cool, and it's really unique, and it shows how attentive he was. And it shows even more how much perseverance he had, because he wasn't willing to give this up, and he wasn't even personally connected to this case, but he felt the need to bring Barry Madoff to justice because what he was doing was wrong. So Harry Markopolos is someone who stands for what's right no matter what. And I also like the story a lot because he is proof that one man really can make a difference.